Grave Tone.
Welcome to Grave Tone Podcast, where horror comes to life in every form it takes. I'm Megan.
I'm Arthur.
And we are doing a little bonus for funsies because we just got back from the movie theater twice in, 3 days?
Yeah, exactly.
We're catching up.
And first of all, catching up. Second of all, it was too good to not even talk about it.
Oh, there was no way. First of all, there was no way we weren't going to go see it in theaters.
Yes.
And then there was no way, I don't know. I guess we could have just not bothered with this, but also
No.
I
Too
had a
good,
really
man.
good time and I felt like talking about it, so we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So as the title of this episode suggests, today we are talking about Send Help, which just had its premiere on January 30th.
But
Yes.
it was done way before this.
What do you mean done way before this?
So apparently,
Okay.
the film was announced in 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Sony was supposed to distribute it, but because it was, COVID and everything, Sony wanted to do a streaming platform exclusive release,
Oh, okay.
but Sam Raimi refused.
Good for him.
Yeah, so he shoved the project for like years, and then it was finally picked up in 2024
Wow.
for a full theatrical release. So this movie is like new, but also not new.
Well, I mean, the concept of it obviously isn't new.
Yeah.
So obviously that's it, as was fairly heavily advertised, I would say, in all the marketing as well. This is a new Sam Raimi film. He's directed it. He did not write it. I should specify that. The film was actually written by a pair of writers named Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, who are screenwriters and film producers, and apparently they're known for collaborating on multiple projects.
All right.
They have written the scripts for Freddy vs. Jason, the 2009 Friday the 13th reboot script, and this is like their most recent, I think, collaboration. Oh, and Baywatch in 2017. Look at that.
Interesting. That's a pivot, but all right.
Yeah, that was a weird pivot. Still, interesting mix of horror with comedic elements to it. I get the feeling they work very well with Sam Raimi because of that sort of. We do a little bit of both here. We don't take ourselves too seriously with what we're doing.
No, that's it exactly. No, but that's good because it creates that perfect mix of stuff.
It does.
Is really good.
Yeah, it's a really good balance. So I guess initial thoughts going in. How did you feel about the movie?
I mean, look, I absolutely loved it. Obviously, it had really funny scenes that were actually funny.
Yeah.
Some gross scenes which were still funny for some reason. It's hard to explain. Anyways, you should see it if you haven't.
It's a Sam Raimi thing.
I guess so. No, seriously, I absolutely loved it. I clunked in right away that it had very similar vibes to Triangle of Sadness, which it really did. Like, now that I think about it even more, it even has more of things that are like that.
Yeah, Triangle of Sadness leans a little more heavily on the social commentary than like the actual, I guess, like experience that the characters are having, or like the danger that they're in. It leans a little bit more towards the social commentary side of things. It's a little more like sarcastically satirical in the way that it depicts things, but it's a quieter, it's a quieter movie, whereas Send Help is much more like in your face about what it's doing.
That's it. But like, I still enjoyed it despite that fact. Like, it was, pretty clear, but whatever. It was different enough. It wasn't the same thing.
No. Also, if you haven't seen Triangle of Sadness, it's actually really fun.
Yeah, check it out.
It's very intelligently
not necessarily
written.
horror, but it's very smart.
No, like a pitch black comedy, but very intelligently written, and the performances are fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So it leaned towards that, but it was fine.
True.
No, seriously, I loved it a lot. A lot of things in there were very smart. They actually hired a person, an Australian survivalist expert, Callie Furneaux. She was hired to consult on the film.
That's smart.
To make it look obviously realistic and everything, for specifically surviving a desert island. Deserted island, I should say.
Yeah.
So she like helped them built like actual camp shelters and like various tools and weapons for survival items and everything. And so like, she thought like the cast, and specifically Rachel McAdams, because she's, the main character here.
Sure, yeah, and the one with the most knowledge.
Yeah, like how to make fire, collect drinking water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like it's good, it's real. I liked it. Okay. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fun watch.
Yeah, this was really fun. It's not like a perfect film necessarily. There were a couple of things that kind of took me out of it a little bit that we can chat through a little bit later. But it was so much fun. It's not obviously in the more traditional sense, like a full horror Sam Raimi, like in what we've seen in the past, of course, but we know this, right? Like it's a stranded on a desert island survival horror. It's not a zombie horror, so it's not like an Evil Dead movie. You don't get that same kind of vibe from it or anything like that. It's very different in that regard, which is normal. But there are a lot of moments in it that distinctly remind you that it's him who's directing the film.
Yeah,
I find there's like a fair few like visuals and certain ways that like the characters act and some things happen and are presented on screen that kind of come across that way. But it's its own thing, which is also cool. Like it didn't feel like it had, like you said, like that's it. It gives you that reminder of Triangle of Sadness because of certain aspects of that movie, but it never feels like it's fully copying anything. It's really its own thing, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's it. I agree. It's different.
Yeah,
It's different. It's fun. Some of the sequences are insane. So anyways, we're gonna all talk about it. Fair warning, obviously there's going to be probably some spoilers, most likely some spoilers and stuff like this. So
we're going to talk about stuff as we do our favorites and we do our different aspects of things too that we check through.
I mean, look, it's going to be more less kind of a review, but other discussion.
Yeah, we know we're like we're a week late. We were away.
Yeah, that's it. So like not necessarily specifically a review, but anyways, whatever. Yeah. Something important also to mention is that you should totally follow us on the socials at Gravetone Pod on literally any platform, because we have some cool collab happening soon with either other podcasts or horror movie actors or directors or writers. So anyways, there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline that you should definitely follow us to know what's happening.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get into some stuff where we chat through some spoilers.
Yeah.
You've been warned. Spoilers ahead.
I guess, okay, let me just run through things really briefly. I guess, like synopsis / cast sort of thing for people. I'm pretty sure that everybody's seen at least one trailer for this movie at this point. So, of course, it follows Rachel McAdams' character. Her name is Linda Little, who works for some big Fortune 500 something, is headed to a business merger trip with her shitty boss.
New boss,
yes, it's true. We should specify that. Bradley Peterson or Preston, sorry. Who's just taken over as CEO post his father passing away. So he's a Nepo baby for his company, and the plane, I don't know what happens exactly when they're on the plane, but
I mean, it goes through a pretty heavy storm.
They hit a heavy storm.
It basically disintegrates.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's it. So the plane crashes pretty much in the middle of the ocean, but within sight view of a deserted island. So, of course, originally Linda washes up there, assumes that she's by herself, and then discovers shortly thereafter that Bradley is the only other survivor from all the dude bros that were on the plane and the crew and all that jazz, and has washed up with her, and she decides to make the best of the situation, but obviously that quickly devolves into something else when we realize different things about kind of both of these characters. One for whom this is almost an opportunity to do something totally different, and one who would never like to change anything in their life ever, in spite of what they're saying. So
yeah, very two-faced character that Preston do.
Very much. I will say that's it. Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien are both fantastic.
They're great.
They're so
amazing
good.
chemistry. They
so
really
good.
play the character really, really well. Both
so
of them.
good. I mean, Rachel McAdams, nobody was surprised, I don't think.
She's like
but she gets
incredible all the time.
It's so fun because she gets to hit this level of like mania at a particular point that I think was like very cool, particularly in the latter half of the movie. I thought she was fantastic.
She's just not made for the city, man. That's just what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what
Are you kidding me? Halfway through this movie, I'm like, she looks like the hottest Survivor cast member I've ever seen in my life. She looked beautiful. But Dylan O'Brien, I think, also was like very, very good. I don't know what it was, that the frat bro laugh that he came up with for this character made me chuckle. It was so funny.
Every time he laughed, it just reminded me of Aziz Ansari. I don't know why. That's how he laughs. Maybe it's because that's how he laughs in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But that's the only thing I could think of. Like, just his face changed on the screen for me when I was watching.
You were like, oh, that's weird.
That's Aziz Ansari right there. I don't know. No, but seriously, he was amazing. His laugh was fucking annoying.
I thought he was great. I'm really happy for him. He's been able to shed some of like the teen thing because he was in Teen Wolf for the run of that show as Styles, who's like a fan favorite character in that show as well.
Okay, that's good.
He's been able to kind of shed that and be able to go off and sort of do other things. And I think that's really cool. I think that's nice that he's been able to do that. They're the main focus. There's a few other tertiary characters who you do see, right? The is it Allstate? Dennis Haysbert, he played the president in 24. He's in it for whatever reason.
Okay.
Doesn't he? He's
I didn't watch 24.
Oh, I forget. Anyway,
Literally
whatever. He's
ever.
Bradley's like, I guess, second in command or something. I'm not sure what he's supposed to be.
Okay, the guy who like introduced him and everything.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he's supposed to be specifically. Sorry.
He's probably like the
he
COO
plays,
or something.
He plays Franklin. He's just described as a senior executive at the firm that they work for.
Whatever.
Also important to note that Linda's character is she's a strategist in the planning and strategy department, and she's a survival enthusiast. She's obsessed with Survivor. She has a bunch of like how-to survival guides at home and stuff, and she's really into this.
When we left the movie, I was like, Megan, I have a gift card for a bookstore. Yeah. We need to go buy survival books right now.
I feel like we should know how to take care of some of this stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, listen, what if our plane crashes in the middle of the ocean?
Oh
and
my
we need
God,
to survive
never say that ever again. Why can't you be something like we get lost in the cold wilderness of Canada?
Isn't it so funny
Jesus.
isn't it so funny that we went on vacation, which is why we missed the film like right when it came out, right? But I'm so glad that we didn't see this plane crash.
Yeah, we would have had to cancel. You would have been like, I would have had to like sedate you.
I know. I've never mentioned this before, but I'm a fairly nervous flyer. I don't love flying very much. I can do it. I don't like burst into tears or have like a panic attack or anything. But I'm not comfortable with it. Takeoff and landing for me are not fun, and I don't like them very much. So they freak me out.
I'm saying we had to sedate you, get you drunk, and get you on the plane after watching this movie.
You would have had to have been like, oh God, I'm gonna have to get her shots first thing in the morning before we get on that flight.
6 a.m. shots.
Here we go. So that's them. The other cast member that did stand out to me, other than Dennis Haysbert, because I've seen him in stuff before, was Xavier Samuel, who plays Dono, the douchebaggy douchebro.
Got like her position and stuff there?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
So his name is Xavier Samuel. He's an Australian actor who, I guess for the Twihards here, was in the Twilight Saga Eclipse. He played Riley in the third film.
I have no idea who that is, but okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, we've watched them. But yeah, that's it. He played Riley in the third film.
Who's Riley?
The kid that Victoria turns to start her army.
That's him?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Well, think about that. It was ages ago. He's 42 years old right now.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. And also for maybe people who are in more of the horror sphere, because that was just me admitting how much I watched Twilight. He was in the 2009 Sean Byrne film, The Loved Ones, which is a prom horror. Got its own little niche because of things like Carrie and Prom Night and all that jazz. It's an Australian film about a young man who is taken hostage by the weird girl at school who tries to ask him to prom, and he says no, and then she kidnaps him and keeps him in her house with her dad, and I won't go into more detail, but it's really fucked up.
Have we seen this,
right?
Yeah. The Australian horror thing. Yeah, okay, because it rings a bell.
We've seen it.
Okay.
Also, if you haven't watched Sean Byrne films, just in general, they're very gritty, but he does a really great job with them. He doesn't do them like very frequently, but it's like every time he comes out, it's kind of a banger. The Loved Ones was, I think, one of his first ones, and then in 2015 he did The Devil's Candy, also a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
That was a cool film. And then in 2025, which is the most recent one, he did Dangerous Animals, which is a shark movie.
Yeah, that one was so fun.
Yeah,
very smart too.
Yeah, that's it. Great. Anyway, great director. So very cool stuff. But anyway, he was the other person who kind of stood out to me in terms of the cast in the movie, and had like a little horror connection that I was like, is that the guy from Twilight? And then I looked and I was like, oh, he's also the guy from The Loved Ones. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's basically what we're dealing with. I mean, I'm assuming if you're here too, it has been a week, so hopefully the spoilers aren't too spoilery anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's it. So we left the movie and we're like, we just watched this whole situation.
Yeah.
It's a two-cast movie, really, realistically. Like 95% of it is
for sure.
Two people.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're driving back and I'm like, okay, Megan, who is the villain
in the movie?
In this movie?
Yeah.
And that is the question that I want us to discuss, at least in the first part of this.
But
who is the villain?
I think what's wonderful about a story like this, right, is that while, yes, it's for entertainment, of course it is, because it gets zany and funny in some moments and all kinds of things.
I don't know. I took a lot of notes while watching this movie. I'm like, yo, man, this is survival 101 right there.
I, too, need to know how to fashion a bamboo sun hat.
Yeah.
For myself.
First thing, man. Protect yourself from the sun.
No, it's true. It is actually very important. Protect yourself from the elements. Shelter.
From the elephants?
The elephants.
I mean, you should protect yourself if there's a herd of elephants running at you.
You should. They're beautiful animals, but they will squish you.
From the elements.
Yes, from the elements. So as in both, obviously, the rain and everything, but also the sun is a big part of that too. You know, if you get burned to a crisp, that's not going to help you with dehydration, etc.
exactly.
For sure.
So yes.
Okay, so what I think is really interesting about a story like this that I find is really cool, that I always enjoy, is that it presents a story that lives in a gray area, because so often in life, we as just people in general, whether we're consuming content or just in anything that we experience in life, we need things to be like good and bad, a hero and a villain, but things aren't always that simple. They're often more nuanced than that. And so I think that this story is so cool, and it doesn't even necessarily try to play it up, but it just so casually points out that two things can be true at the same time. You know, you can sympathize with Linda and with what she is struggling with. Bradley's father, before passing away, had promised her a promotion to a VP level, and then immediately
she works really hard,
she works
and everything,
fucking hard, and she's immediately told upon Bradley's arrival that because he doesn't like the look of her, basically, and he thinks that she's messy and shitty and whatever, and he wants
doesn't fit the company culture,
the vibe, and that's it. He wants the dude bros to run the company, and so he's giving Donovan the promotion instead, et cetera, all of that stuff, right? You can sympathize with all of those things. When they're stuck on the island initially, he's a dickbag, like, for half the time, right? And you're just like, you're mostly on Linda's side. However, nobody is also condoning them or like choosing for them not to be rescued. And, like those types of things, and how fucking cuckoo nuts bananas she gets before the end of the movie. You're kind of like, whoa, Linda, chill. Also, she kills 2 people. Which is fucked. That for me, I think that was actually her biggest turning point. The I'm crazy, I'm not going to get people to save us, all that kind of thing. I was like, okay, but killing Bradley's fiance Zuri and that poor man who was who she had hired to help her search. That I was like poor Zuri. I feel really bad for her. She was so happy to find her, and I was like, man, this poor girl. She has terrible taste in men because Bradley sucks, but she obviously really loves him.
Yeah. That's it.
So I was like, there must be something okay about him somewhere in there.
Money, hello.
No, I know, but I feel like you wouldn't have bothered with after the search parties ended and stuff like that. I don't know that you would have bothered. And she seemed genuinely really happy.
I know.
She didn't give me like insincere with the way that she was acting in any capacity. She was even happy to see Linda.
That's true.
You know, she was even like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're okay." All of that stuff. Like, I felt bad for her. That poor girl. Also, she was beautiful, and I was like, "Man, you could do so much better. What are you doing?"
Yeah. So I don't know if she was the one who acted the zombie of her coming out from the otion.
Oh my God, it looked
but
so
that was
good.
Really good.
That was a very Sam Raimi sequence.
Yeah, exactly.
In the film.
So that's one of those sequences that is, that was very much him coded.
Very, very Sam Raimi
specifically
coded. A lot. Some of the vomit was also very him coded as well. Yeah. He really likes things. I don't know, people throwing up really gross shit. I don't know why. Like spewing it. Like, it's a lot. It's never just like casual. It's always like, blah, it never stops coming out. And you're like, ugh. Very good.
I think the villain of the movie was actually his fiance.
Why?
She ruined everything. They had a good thing going.
Come on.
They were surviving on the island.
That poor girl.
They were living the life. And then she came around and ruined everything.
Stop it. I felt so bad for her. But yeah, okay. So see, in that sense, like, of course, all those aspects, right, make Linda villainous. Of course, doing those things is not okay. But the way that Bradley, first of all, like, already acts from the beginning. Of course, you want to peg him as the villain right from the start, and to a degree, you would be correct. Obviously, even continuously.
He's shitty. Is he the villain?
Is he the villain, or is he literally one of the conversations that they have between the two of them? Is he just a product of his fucking upbringing and environment? You know,
exactly. That's it.
Was he kind of the way that he was raised and everything gave way to him never really acting any other way in his life? And so I think that shifting your entire mentality from the time that you were a child would be an incredibly difficult thing to do, and not just something that would happen.
Even in the crazy situation
even
that they
in circumstances like this, because you don't know how else to act.
She tried, right?
Yes.
Like, she kind of waved off a boat or whatever it is to not get rescued, and then it's been what we assume weeks if not close to a month or whatever it is, of them surviving. And she tried several ways of trying to make him realize that he is a shitty person, and it just didn't work at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No. I mean, like, okay, we're not doing this in like the exact sense that we normally do a review, but do you want to do a few of your favorite things, like a few of your favorite things that you really enjoyed? Like maybe what, like your top like 2-3 things that you really liked about the movie?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, look, if we're gonna go like quick machine gun type of thing, I think the survival aspect of it was really real and realistic. I don't know how good she is that she was able to build like a hammock,
It was so impressive.
literally, and like clothes,
I
basically, like a
know.
hat and almost a house, which was really cool. So, I mean, I guess their survivalist expert that they hired as a consultant was really that good, and there's possible, like, I guess you can actually do things like this with enough time. You know what I mean?
You got days and nothing to do, right? Like
Literally, yeah, that's it, except for food survival and shelter and stuff like that.
exactly. So you're going to focus on making it
Yeah,
happen.
which is, I guess, an important thing to discuss or even mention in a sense is kind of like the skills of survival, right?
Yeah.
So one of the first things that actually made me laugh was the guy, Preston there,
Yeah,
Bradley,
yeah.
that he was like, hey, have you tried, to like trying to summon a signal
make
or
a
make a
distress
distress signal,
Yeah,
whatever it is?
basically make a bonfire
Yeah,
or write
or
help,
help.
in the sand with bamboo sticks.
Yeah, that's it, with big sticks. And she was like, yeah, that's not kind of like the whole first survival
Not really
situation.
like my first, instinct. My first instinct is to make shelter first, find water and food.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that those are actually the first skills.
Those are what you should do
of
first.
survival.
And then after
is
that, like
those things.
like-
Well, actually, first they actually say that one of the first things is corporeal temperature.
okay.
So just your body's temperature, because you can't do any of those other things if you are cold.
Yeah.
Or if you're too hot in a desert. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So those are some of the first things to do.
That does
definitely.
make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's like, and so that's really clever as well, right? Because everything that she's been doing at first, and at the point particularly that he points this out and starts criticizing her for what she's done when he's been, unconscious. And the
literally
only
doing
reason he's
nothing
not dead
is
is
'cause
because
she
of
saved
her.
him.
So in those circumstances, then I understand she's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But after that, she becomes purposefully obstinate because she doesn't want to leave. And so you do
of course.
see those aspects where she's like, no, I think we still have to do this. I think we still have to do that first. And you're like, Linda, you could start focusing on perhaps trying to strategize a way to be seen.
Yeah, to be seen. That's it,
by a boat,
exactly.
by a helicopter, or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, I did really like that aspect
Yeah.
of things, which also funnily reminds me of something I remember. I don't know if I read this or someone told me this, anyways. But there was kind of like an experiment done, I guess, or some kind of questionnaire done with the army. I don't know if it was the U.S., the Canadian Army, but anyways, they gave people 12 items. I don't remember exactly what they were.
Yeah.
But some of the items were like, like rope, a lighter,
Sure.
scissors, knife, can of Crisco, other things like literally like the food and water and whatever it is. And
Yeah.
they're like, what would you pick to be the item that you would take with you, like as the only item for survival?
Oh, okay.
Right? And a lot of people answered different questions. What would it be for you, for example, out of those that I mentioned? So like, say rope, knife, a lighter, food, water, a can of Crisco, whatever other.
I mean, I feel like off the top, right, you would naturally lean towards something like the knife or water, like a canister for water or
That's
something
it.
like that, so I can catch the rainfall. But the knife so that I can like cut things down and make a shelter. Like those would be the types of things that you would naturally lean towards. I feel.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So surprisingly enough, it was the can of Crisco.
Right.
Which is really strange if you think about it, because you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? It's not like I can eat it or anything like that. But it is actually super versatile because, first of all, it's a can, so you can open it and catch water with it.
True.
Also, the top of the can part, or really almost
Or
anything.
the container. Crisco comes in containers a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I
containers,
think.
but also
Yeah.
they have like this pull thing, like they just
Yes,
pull with your
yes,
finger.
yes,
So
yeah.
that thing is sharp, so you can use that to cut things.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is another use of it, right? You can also use it as a reflector in case of anything happens.
Search
if you can
parties,
search
et cetera,
party,
et
whatever.
cetera.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Crisco is a very good insulator, so you can basically use it as if you're exposed to the elements, put it on your face.
Yeah, yeah,
put
and
it
your
on
body. Yeah.
And that's it. So like it's actually pretty versatile. Also, there's
It's
a way
your
that I remember
sunscreen
reading.
/ insulation from the
Basically,
cold.
yeah.
La 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 la.
I remember. I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but there is a way to make fire with it too.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's like a fat, right?
Right, exactly. That's it. So like it burns, or there's a
Yeah.
way to make it burn. So, anyways, super versatile. Just always keep a can of Crisco in your pants,
I love we say
in
that.
your
we
pocket,
don't.
whatever.
I don't remember the last time I saw Crisco, if I'm honest.
Hey, it's in a baking section. I know what
it is, but I just you never really have use for it as a rule. I use butter. So.
Well, now we're going to put it in our escape bag.
Great.
That's it.
The escape bag that we don't have.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Used to.
Oh, you're right. No, we did have,
It was an emergency backpack.
We had an emergency bag just in case of a fire with a change of clothes and just a couple of really small essentials in there. It was a few small things. We should probably have that again.
Yeah, exactly. After watching this movie, I'm like, let's bring this back.
Also, we just I don't know, we live in a building. What if my stupid ass neighbors decide to set fire to the place? I don't know. If I have to leave in the middle of the night or something.
It's okay. It's only third floor.
I love, for me, that's what I'm thinking of the realistic thing. You're coming at this from well, if there's a zombie apocalypse and we need to leave.
You need to be ready.
I don't know. The way we're headed, you never know. It could be next.
Be prepared.
Just add it to the list of things.
Watch this movie,
happen.
learn, be prepared.
Be prepared.
What did you
what
like?
to do.
See, this is all the important values and points that I took from this movie, which I think are pretty fucking important.
I can apply them to real life.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that. I think my favorite things were probably the chemistry between the two leads was so fantastic. The genuine moments of humor in the middle to partially to cut tension, but also just it's because of the delivery of some of the stuff and the way that certain lines were written were very funny.
Yeah.
And also, you know what I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but I really appreciated, I thought Danny Elfman's score was actually quite good.
He did the score?
He did.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, it lent itself very well to the tense moments were properly tense because of it. The moments of levity had proper levity to them. Towards the end of the film, again, we've gotten into spoiler territory, but right at the end of the film, when there is a confrontation between the two of them and obviously Bradley's trying anything he can to get out of this situation alive and starts basically telling Linda that he's in love with her and things like that. They use this very almost romantic score, very sort of emotionally sounding thing that immediately shifts when the things take a turn, obviously, because it's not the kind of movie that's going to go that way. That would be stupid. So
no, not at all. And I'm just actually glad that one of the characters survives at the end of the movie, which is different. I like those movies like that. Not all the time, because some of them could be bleak. But the movies where it's not oh yeah, the good guy won. Fucking hate that. But it's 95% of the movies. So I really, really appreciate when it's not the good guy that wins.
No, that's it. And in this case, I think to exactly the conversation we've been having, I don't know that there is a fully good guy in this movie.
That's fair. Yeah.
To a degree, you really want to say it's Linda. It's not. It's definitely not.
Good guy? No, not really.
It's definitely not Bradley. He sucks.
It's Gary.
Who's Gary?
You're a good guy, Gary.
Oh my God, you're such an idiot. Watch Final Space, guys.
Again, just keep mentioning it all the time.
You're a good guy, Gary.
Oh, jeez.
Oh God. Okay. This was so fun. Should we wrap just for funsies? Should we wrap it up and just do digs?
Yeah, of course, 100%. Let's do it.
What are you feeling digs wise?
So this is a whole different scale in terms of general ratings of movies, I guess.
Kinda.
Just because there's such a fun factor and a realistic thing of it, and it's funny, it's good. Anyways, it's an easy 7, man, a high 7.
Yeah.
A solid 7 easily.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting with you. Like I said, I will say I did find there were a couple of the Sam Raimi-esque sequences in this to do with the couple of dead bodies and the sort of zombified thing. I thought that the way that the thing with Zuri looking like a zombie was it looked great when she was just a second, on, but it was really good. But when you see she flashes with the dead the dead face with the maggots and stuff in that same dream sequence, I didn't like that very much. There were a couple of things that I found took me out a little bit of the realism of what was happening.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, I get it.
For me didn't really land super well, but overall it was the two of them make this such an enjoyable film. It was funny. It was fast paced. I didn't need a ton of understanding of what was going on to really follow it. I appreciated the sort of scathing indictment on nepotism in business and also just kind of corporate America as a whole and sort of the types of people who get into certain roles while other people are passed over. I work in a bit of a corporate environment, so I can always appreciate it when people point that kind of thing out.
I mean, look, and we're also not really far from the whole rating side of things. So popcorn meters at 87.
Nice.
IMDb 7.2.
Okay, yeah.
So, we're there. Letterboxd 3.5, which is, again, 7. So, yeah.
I think it's just like a really solid, really fun
it's a great
film.
great
Would be
movie.
fun to watch in a group and stuff like that, I think,
Yes.
as well. And I'd probably want to do a rewatch to even notice maybe some of the nuance that I missed this first time around between the characters and stuff. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yay. Okay. Anyway, this was fun. I think we just wanted to hop on and whatever. We're doing it as a little bonus for fun.
Yeah.
And then that's it, Friday, Saturday, we're going to come at you with Cold Storage when that comes out too.
Oh my God, so
Happy
excited.
Valentine's Day, everybody, ahead of time. That's what we're going to watch for Valentine's
Fuck yeah,
Day.
it's great.
It's going to be really fun. So I think we're looking forward to that. And hopefully that's it. We are going to have a couple of collabs coming up in the near future. So those will be dropping between now and maybe like the next month or so. That'll be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And between that and what we're seeing, what I think we want to maybe hop in with a couple of other different episodes if and when we can, but also with how stacked the release schedule is.
There might be more bonus episodes.
Yeah,
down the
maybe,
line.
Like maybe that's just kind of like what we'll look at doing. I think we got to plan things out a little bit. We have to get that whiteboard that we talked about in the last episode.
Yo, seriously.
And do that.
Oh my God.
We're on it. So I think we're going to figure that out. Anyway, guys, as mentioned, follow us on socials. You can also check out the website at gravetonepod.com if you want to do that and check out all the episodes that we have there and all the interesting little bits and bobs that we've got going on. But until next time, guys, stay scared and stay tuned.
Ciao, guys.